as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
When a racing series nears the halfway point of a season, the hopes for a championship, once shared by so many, are now shared by only a few. Such is the case today, as Clinton, Illinois' Aiden Perdue has established himself as the man to beat, coming off his second main event win of the season last time out in Lanier. Hard charger Chad Wheeler sits in second, but the Muskogee native might want to trade in some passing points for some qualifying points if he wants to close the gap to the leader. And then there is the younger of the Battery Boys, Carter, already with a feature win notched in his belt. The pride of Montgomery, Texas has elbowed his way into the top 5. The wings have been amputated, and it's all about mechanical grip as the rubber meets the dirt as good old 360 Sprint takes the muddy stage. Will Perdue tighten his hold on the points lead, or will somebody loosen his Prairie State grip? Find out now from Williams Grove Speedway. It's round 5 of the CSI Shocks Spring Season Championship, and you can see all the simulated dirt track action live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. From the land of Lincoln, hello everyone and welcome. Joe Peak joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view. Sean Crackers Ambrose has director duties armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. So we come to Williams Grove Speedway. Now, at risk of dating myself, I broke into sim race broadcasting business in the popular video game Civilization by commentating on chariot races at Circus Maximus. Williams Grove Speedway reminds me so very much of that ancient Roman stadium with long straights and very tight corners at each end. Joe, it's a different kind of horsepower though on display today.
And while that horsepower is going to be shown off on those straights, the fact that it's the wingless sprint means the sharp corners of this half-miler are going to be very, very tough. There's pretty minimal banking as well, ranging from about 8 to 12 degrees. Essentially, imagine Martinsville with its banking. For once, though, we might have a track where being a local specialist might come in handy. The Grove is probably most notable for the Pennsylvania Posse, which is a group of local drivers that challenge the World of Outlaws contingent in the spring of each year. And any of the PA drivers in the series will probably be very eager to do well today so as not to lose face. All in all, because of the difficulty in handling on the car and the difficulty of the circuit itself, I think competition is going to be fierce and wild today, Bill.
Cannot wait, and that'll be getting underway soon. But first, let's take care of a few pieces of business. Let's talk about the driver standings. Now, we mentioned a few of these names in the opening. Aiden Perdue and Chad Wheeler sit 1-2 in the standings. Let's talk a little bit about Chance Crum. He joins Perdue as the only one of two drivers with a pair of heat wins this season, as he has two of those. How about this guy? 13-year-old Corey Day has a feature win. And then we talked about Carter Batterby. He cracks the top 5 overlay for the first time this season. Now, keep in mind, there are 2 drop weeks, 2 drop rounds where drivers can lose their worst result. So that'll tighten up the points. We'll talk a little bit more about drop weeks as the season advances. Joe? Oh, wait, I'm going to talk first about the hard charger award here, too. And this one we... bonus point work qualifying. Kobe Sidem, Chance Crum, Corey Day all sit 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and we have a couple drivers tied for 5th on that one. All right, Joe, and there's your hard charger award right there. You see that up on there. Keep an eye on Corey Day. He's very good, and if he gets a good qualifying time, look for him to move up in the standings. Let's go ahead and talk about the race details, Joseph.
Absolutely. We are past the halfway point, or almost past the halfway point, as you mentioned, and they do get those 2 drop weeks. Now, today's car, as I mentioned, the 360 non-wing sprint, very powerful and very tough with the right foot. Essentially, it's all going to come down to that, where who can handle the throttle control of these cars off and in the corners. They've got 5 heats at most today, 3 semifinals at most, and of course, always are going to have the feature race, the A main. $2,000 are on the line, Bill, so drivers will be eager to try and make do, especially at a track and a car like this that probably a little bit more specialist than some of the others we've seen so far.
As we bring down that graphic, let's quickly talk about some of the prizes that they're giving away. The series champion, he gets a complete set of CSI Shocks, courtesy of Hergod Real Estate Group. You know, 2nd place, they get $500 off of the Deluxe Chassis Kit from Joe's Racing Products. 3rd place gets $500 off a Deluxe Chassis Kit from Factor One Racing. Hey, if you're finishing 4th, you get $250 off a seat insert from Sharp Advantage Safety Products. And 5th, well, you get not 1, but 2, because what good would 1 torsion bar do you? And that comes from Chalk Sticks. Do you get the idea, Joe, from those prizes that a lot of these guys are real-world racers?
They are indeed. And taking a look at who hails from where, I see that we've got Kenny Miller from the Pennsylvania Club, but nobody else. So he's the lone representative at the moment. That could change. We could still get a couple more in here. He's sitting 15th here in the warm-up, but it's not really the warm-up that matters. It's the heats and then the A-main if you manage to eventually get there, which is probably, if you ask me, this is going to be one of the tougher races to get up to that A-main.
You're looking at practice going on right now. Everyone gets to come out and race the track at the same time, so we get to see multiple cars on track. Makes for good viewing. That's not going to be the case for qualifying. It'll be lone qualifying, which means drivers will just get their track to themselves. They'll all be out there at the same time, but they don't need to share. Kind of the magic of sim racing. There's Cordy Sidam, one of your hard chargers.
Yeah, currently 3rd in the warm-up time, so looking like he's sussed this one out. These long straights and this high horsepower and this lack of grip, you're going to see into here. We saw the car ahead just swing all the way out to the outside, and that's going to be very easy to do, Bill. The big danger there that you find in those corners is because you have so much speed coming in that we're going to have a lot of people wind up like Lucius on their lid because they've essentially just chucked it in too hard, and at that point there's just no saving it. The car's on a trajectory and it's a sharp corner, so you're just going to run into the outside wall.
Looking through the entries here today, all the big names are here. Aiden Perdue, Chad Wheeler, Chance Crum, Corey Day, all here with us. Correct myself. Yeah, there's Corey Day. And how about Carter Batterby? Did he make it? I believe he did. Not sure if his brother is here, though. Looks like there's only one Batterby today. The younger and more handsome Batterby.
Do you actually know that for a fact? Or
Well, when the older one's not here, I can get away with that, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. As we watch Chase Randall work his way around fellow Texan to the Batterbys.
I can verify that Carter is indeed younger. He's 18. His brother is 21.
Now, what I think is really cool about these cars, it fits the long history of this track, because this track has been around since the late 30s, is these are the USAC cars that they're racing here today. Before we were racing the World of Outlaws cars, Bill. And the reason that I think that's fitting is because, for at this point, older fans of IndyCar think that CART is old IndyCar. Not so. USAC is old IndyCar, and this is the roots of open wheel racing in America, basically. It's these dirt ovals, these wingless sprint cars. That's how a lot of the guys, the Parnellis and the Mario Andretti's that everybody talks about, this is how they cut their teeth.
And then they take a bastardized version of that, the front engine roadster that was at raced at Indy for so long. Those guys would come right off and take those cars to Indianapolis. Not quite the sprint cars, but variations of them. I love this track.
This is a very challenging track. It took me a while to get up to speed around here. And I think you're probably going to see a pretty wide gap from the slowest to the fastest car today.
Our field's a little smaller, so we talked about there being 5 heats. I don't think we'll get that. Whoa, we have somebody in the wall. That is the number 12 machine. Getting in there. That was Chase Randall. Get that out of the way early, Chase. We'll probably only have 4 heats, maybe only 2 semis. They'll advance 4 from the semis. Our graphic may only show you 2, but we'll end up with 16 cars in the feature. By hook or by crook, we'll give you a full fill.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they're just trying to get it down to that number. So it does kind of play into the advantage of some of the drivers who might not be as quick when you have a smaller field like this. Greater ability to make the big show.
Qualifying, very important, because not only do you get bonus points for that, but it also determines what heat you race in. The luck of the draw last round saw all of our top names in the same opening heat. I believe it was the first heat. They qualified 1st, 5th, and I think 11th, and they all got put in there.
Yeah, but I'd say that qualifying also important, because passing here is going to be an interesting prospect. You're probably going to see some drivers have to really make some desperate moves or get really creative out there, because it's probably going to be mostly single file for much of the race, just because of the nature of the layout of this track. That's not to say that passes can't be made, but it might wind up in some hurt feelings.
All right, iRacing now has given each driver sole control of their own racetrack. We go ahead and look at, I believe that's the number 12 car that we saw earlier, of Chance Randall. Excuse me, it's Chase Randall.
Close.
Chance Crum, Chase Randall. There we go.
Wait for the times to come in, as I think just the first of the cars getting ready to set a lap here. There's a few popping up from me. Brennan Rogers looking good off the bat.
Yeah, that's a name we didn't talk much about in the standings, but he has shown speed. He hasn't been to every event. There's Brendan Rogers. He's a threat to win today, the number 30 car. Keep an eye on him. Mark him down on the clipboard.
And with the second lap, still drivers not able to topple him. Jonathan Schaefer is the closest, just about a 10th off. Rogers sets another fastest lap, so he increases the gap. Schaefer catches him slightly, but not enough. Purdue up to third.
Just ahead of Preston Perlmutter.
Just trying to ride the outside on the way in. Purdue way too shallow into that corner. You saw the results.
There's again the number 12 of Chase Randall. Sitting in 8th position, Emerson Axon.
Now they only get 3 laps to try and set a qualifying time. So some of these drivers might wind up being out here a little bit longer just to get more practice in. Axum is actually on his 3rd lap right now, so this is his last chance to get farther up the field.
Report to Chance Crum, a big name in the 83, has yet to put in a qualifying time. Oh, well, another one get out of the way.
And Axum actually did jump himself up to 6th ahead of Chase Randall. And Randall continued to go down because Corey Day goes to 7th.
Let's add another big name that is not putting in a qualifying. I'm not sure if they're going to race with us today, along with Chance Crum, who sits well up in the points. Chad Wheeler, who sits 2nd in the points, not out there.
You can see if any of the drivers still running. Oh, and Corey Day up to 4th now with his final lap. Anybody else still running? I think Chance Crum, the only one.
That 4th position matters. That'll put him on the pole position for a heat. The top 4, I'm expecting to be pole for each of the 4 heats. There's Chance. Good. Practicing a little procrastination.
Well, he got one on the board, and it was good enough for 17th, so middle of the pack. Let's see what this second one has for him. The number 83 crosses the line, and it's a 20.4. That's a little faster. That's up to 12th now. He's discovering the secrets.
His best time in practice was a 20 flat. Let's see if he can match that. Boy, that looks smooth there. That looked really smooth. Let's see what the 83 can do. He's going to get up into,
11th place.
What is that, 11th position? There we go. Now, here we go. Chad Wheeler.
That was his first time through, and that actually puts him just under Crum.
Roger, Schaefer, Purdue, and Day, your top 4 qualifiers right now. Not sure if Wheeler's going to have anything for them. Love that camera angle.
You're going to see some really frantic hands most of this race. Saw a lot of sawing at the wheel. Wheeler, interesting, did not go faster second time.
Boy, the hands are frantic, but compared to when we started this series looking at the midgets, these cars are so much smoother, at least, looking in there as they dive it in. At least these guys are making it look
Whoa, and Wheeler up to 3rd, Bill, with
his
last lap.
There you go. Put in a 20.239.
That's going to be everybody. That's the end of our qualifying.
So with that done, it is time to go to the heat races. Now, each one of these heats are sponsored. We're going to start with our first heat. And as always, that's going to be sponsored by Joe's Racing Products. Heat number 1. Joe's Racing Products design and manufactured quality and innovative race products in the USA. Find out more at joesracing.com. You can quickly see that we're going 8 laps. The top 2 transfer, and this is Ben-Hur Racing. No yellow flags.
Rogers is going to start it on the pole for these 10 drivers. Aiden Purdue 2nd, and Kobe Stidham in 3rd. Chase Randall will be on the outside of row 2 and 4th, with Matt Moore starting 5th. Avery Goodman 6th place. Colton Collins 7th, and Dustin Davidson 8th. Kaiser is lining up in 9th, but I do not see Sam Johnson out yet. He's in the session. Oh, excuse me. He is our admin today, so Sam is not racing.
Boy, it's going to be tall order for Stidham, Randall, Moore, Goodman, Collins, Davison, Kaiser, because the guys up front, Sam Johnson, because Brendan Rogers and Aiden Purdue are a pair of tough customers. Don't know who's going to win between those two, but chances are they're going to be your transfer.
Absolutely. But if you finish in 3rd or 4th, you find yourself a really good position in the first semi. So as long as you finish well, even if you don't have the pace of Rogers or Perdue, you could probably still sneak through.
Yeah.
Now, we did hear a confirmation that there was only 3 heat races today, Bill.
Well, I'm going to start to do math. That's 2, 4, 7. I'm not sure what's going to transfer. Is there a way to tell how many are going to transfer onto this, or we don't really know right now? Looking through iRacing, if it tells me. Is it the top 2 still?
Yeah,
Top
still
two,
top 2.
okay.
Doesn't change.
So the top 2 will advance, and then we go to the semis. We'll probably see a few more get there to get to our 16-car field.
Now, in the past, we've seen a couple tracks with those tires down at the apexes, Bill, and we've got a couple of those here. So they do have to worry about, granted, in these cars, you really don't hug the inside quite as much as some of the other cars, so I don't expect it to be a severe problem.
Working their way around the back straight now. The fluorescent blue car on the top side, that is Aiden Perdue. When I get to colors, that could always be trouble. I'm calling it blue, maybe it's purple. It's bright.
It's blue.
All right, good. Brendan Rogers on the inside. Next time around will be the green flag. Race control talking to the field right now, asking everybody to pull on up. We don't want any sandbaggers back there.
I'm eager to see how this first corner will go with everybody chucking it in, because that'll give us a good feeling of how things are going to play out today. Like I said, tough to pass, also tough to try and go through here too wide just because of the nature of this layout. So if I'm honest, Bill, I expect a little bit of fireworks.
You look there, that beautiful banana-flavored car sitting on the inside of row 3. That's Matt Moore. Keep an eye on him.
It was bad enough when you were tasting the pavement cars, but tasting the dirt cars?
Oh, yeah. Gotta taste the dirt. I watch some iRacing commercials. I know that's important. Hey, it's time to go racing. Brendan Rogers gets to the top. Look at the guy on the inside. That's Gordy Sidham. He dives it in deep. Can he make it stick? He's right on the inside of Perdue. Great racing for second. Pulling away is Rogers.
Sidham's got the inside. Is he going to try and pull the slide job? Yes, beautifully done. Now he's got to get it off the corner, though. And he finds the power nicely. He's still a little bit under attack from Perdue, and I think Perdue is not going to settle for this.
Perdue takes it in deep, cannot make it stick. In fact, he loses little momentum. That's going to open the door for Chase Randall on the inside. Look at this. Boy, this is some good racing. Perdue now working it, trying to get around Sidham on the top side.
This is some bravery because, again, open-wheel cars, if they clip tires, you could find yourself flailing off and over the Armco and your race done immediately.
A drive from Matt Moore in the banana car down on the inside of the number 9. He's going to get into it. Going around is Aiden Perdue. Your points leader spins it. He's going to have some work to do to get to the feature.
Sidham now holds on to that second place, but he's not done fending off attacks. Look at Randall coming back at him. He thinks that maybe he can sneak through to the main.
Randall gives him a little bit of a hello push, and I think it might have pushed Sidham into the wall. He gave him a bump on corner entry, made Sidham go a little wide. Sidham's in the wall, opens the door for Randall. I don't think that Matt Moore's going to have anything for that as they work lap number 5.
And unfortunately, Sidham could not get it off the wall. He decided to take a tow because he didn't want to cause problems. So he won't even be able to try and recover.
So rated in 4th position was Chase Randall, but he's in the transfer spot now. Matt Moore outside in that yellow car trying to get a drive off of the corner.
Oh, let's watch this. Look at the hands on Moore. You're steering down the straightaway on these things, Bill. He's actually threatening him. Look at this. Gunned it off the corner.
And he makes it stick.
That was smart driving from Moore. Like I said, hard to make it on the way in. Set yourself up for the runoff. Long straightaways, there's a chance to do it.
Not done yet. He tries to give himself a little bit of distance so he can pull away from Randall, who is chasing him. This is the white flag lap. Brendan Rogers has this thing all his way. He has about a 40 car length lead on Moore. Winning heat number 1 is going to be Rogers. Let's watch the battle for second. Moore gets the good drive off. Tribes, he might chase Randall, cannot get there.
Then behind them, it's going to be Aiden Perdue, who actually returned and finishes 4th. Dustin Davidson 5th. Colton Collins 6th. Kaiser did not finish in 7th. Goodman as well 8th. And Kobe Stidham last on the field. Bill?
A couple big names are going to have to work their way into the main event. Okay, our next feat is going to be brought to you by Factor One Chassis. Factor One Micro Sprint chassis have been providing an unfair advantage for over 30 years. For more information, factoronерacing.com. Joe?
Jonathan Schaefer starts it on the pole for this heat. Corey Day, who is certainly looking good in qualifying, will be on the outside of him. Carter Batterby starts P3 with Bryce Lucius in 4th. Inside of row 3 will be Tyler Rust. Kenny Miller outside in 6th. Colin Mitchell starts 7th. James Andrewchuk starts in 8th. Whitney 9th. And Hergo is not going to be able to take the grid.
A competitive field again. Some big names in there in the points. Corey Day, he sits in the top 5 overlay, as does Carter Batterby. Bryce Lucius, noted for his hard charger, sits out there in 4th position. Going green the next time by, but right now, Jonathan Schaefer is in control of this race.
I'm very impressed with this first heat. I'd say, even though we had a couple problems here and there, it's relatively clean racing from what we were looking at.
Really good paint job on Jonathan Schaefer's car. It says Schaefer and then Racer on the other side. Really nice, Jonathan. Schaefer driver. Black and red number 10 of Carter Batterby looking for a way around. You can see right now, you don't have to start on the front row to advance, as indicated from that first heat.
And that was some hard fighting. And Carter Batterby starting in 3rd. Wonder if he could sneak in there. Here they go, Bill.
Truck is in. Schaefer gets the jump. Nice run from him. Comfortably in 2nd is Day. Look at the dive underneath.
The car we saw on the wall was Kenny Miller, unfortunately. He's all the way at the back.
Carter Batterby had a taste of 2nd place for a while, but couldn't get it woed up. Now he's in a battle, a tight battle with Bryce Lucius for 3rd. Oh, Lucius is in the wall. Batterby gets part of him. In fact, everybody gets a part of Bryce Lucius. Just for good measure, let's throw in Reed Whitney as well.
Wow. So that's day done for Lucius, obviously.
He was spinning, and I think every guy behind him getting a little extra help to keep that momentum twirling there. Corey Day in 2nd, and he has a nice, comfortable lead now. How much does he want to pressure Schaefer? Look at Batterby. He's
Batterby
around.
gets hit. Yeah, that was Tyler Rust who now moves by him into 3rd.
Andrewchuk gets him as well. Colin Mitchell into him as well. This is an ugly one. Somehow Batterby keeps the car going. He makes contact again with Andrewchuk. They keep going. Tyler Rust in 3rd, all by himself. Starting to close in on Jonathan Schaefer is Corey Day.
And these two don't have to worry too much about the cars behind. They've got 2 seconds back to Rust. But if I was Corey Day, I would just settle for this 2nd place.
Corey Day, the 21-year-old racing out of Clovis, California, starting to close in on the back of Schaefer.
Remember I mentioned Miller's our only Pennsylvania driver. A little bit of brush to the inside by Day there. Miller is not back out on track, so he's going to have to work his way through the semis.
Not many Pennsylvania drivers here today, but if my geography is correct, I think Ohio is close to Pennsylvania. That's where Jonathan Schaefer hails from. Joe, you were born in Cincinnati, isn't that?
I'm on the opposite end of Pennsylvania.
All right.
I know Cincinnatians don't like Pennsylvanians, but mostly Pittsburgh.
Schaefer and Day comfortably racing 1 and 2. They work lap number 7. Look for the white flag this time around. Tyler Rust. All right, now he's in 3rd, but what that means is he'll get a good spot when we get to the semis. White flag for Schaefer.
And Rust is really going to want to try and take advantage of that, get himself a good start in his semi, and get himself ahead and just run away.
He'll be ready. If I've known anything from listening to Neil Young, Rust never sleeps. He'll be ready to go. Coming to the finish line. Schaefer is gonna get the win. Corey Day will get second.
Rust third. Carter Batterby eventually comes back in fourth. Reed Whitney's going to get P5. 6 is going to be, I believe, Lucius Andrzejczyk. Behind them, Colin Mitchell, 8th, and Kenny Miller does not finish. Bill?
A lot of drivers just getting the iRacing points as they had a hard time getting around. Next heat going to be coming your way thanks to WR1 Sim Heat. Or WR1 Sims, sorry. Built by racers for racers, WR1 Sims are the choice of industry professionals like Kyle Larson, I know him, and Christopher Bell, I know that driver too. You want to find out where to find them? WheelerMetals.com. Joe?
Starting on the pole for this heat, it is Chad Wheeler. Preston Pulmuter starts in second. Row 2 has Emerson Axum in the inside with Chance Crum on the outside in fourth. Parker Leak starting 5th. Tyler Ransbottom, P6 at the green. Corbin Hazlett in 7th. And then Christopher Towns in 8th. Roger Brandon is 9th place. And we don't have a 10-car field because Grayson Springer is not out on track.
If you remember, we talked a little bit about Chad Wheeler during qualifying. He was late to the show. This commentator was a little worried he wasn't going to be able to get out there, but he got in a late run, put himself in 3rd. Which ends up to be very important with only 3 heats. If he was in 4th, he would have not been on pole position. But right now, he's in control. Another big name, though, is Chance Crum. Out there in the 83. In that, I'm going to take another shot at it. I'm going to take a shot at this and say that 83 is kind of purple. Is that a lavender or is it blue?
Nope, it's blue, Bill.
All right. See, I tried to get creative. Folks, blame my parents for my rods and cones. God rest their souls. Love them, but come on, Mom and Dad.
Your dad gave you lots of good quotes, though, apparently.
He did.
He made up for it.
Not sure if that's something we should thank him for or not. Getting a little bit aggressive down there, Corbin Hazlett. Watch out for him, 22. That's a name we've seen. He should be fast. Hazlett has a chance to get there. Boy, I'm enjoying this so much more now that I'm getting familiar with the drivers and know what they can do. I hope that you guys are enjoying it as well as we watch around here. Heat number 3. Let's go racing. Chad Wheeler on the inside, but look at the momentum on the top side for Preston Perlmutter. Boy, they get together. Oh. Gonna get the worst for wear on that one.
And almost 4 wide at one point. Perlmutter sent all the way back to 6. This is horrible news for him. That's a little bit more close to what I expected for the start as we got a car turning over.
That was Corbin Hazlett, I think, and another car goes over Parker Leak.
Both of them sent it back.
Emerson Axum has worked his way up, working on the top side around Chad Wheeler. Wheeler has his hands full as Wheeler wheels his car through that corner. Look at the momentum on the top side, though, for Axum. Coming across, completing lap number 2.
With how long these straights are, it's all going to be about getting the shot off those corners. I expect the car working the outside if they can find the grip to really have the advantage, unless someone really diamonds it off.
You see the car second in line behind this onboard camera as we ride on board with Axum as he gets a little contact there. That is Chance Crum. Wheeler makes contact, loses the momentum, move Chance Crum up in his blue car, number 83, up into second with hopes of the lead.
And it's exactly like I said, as those two tangled on the low side, Crum up on the high side just carried that speed down, nearly got it away. He's working hard on Axum, and incredible pressure on the number 21 currently.
Crum, remember, already has 2 heat wins to his name, looking to get a 3rd one, something that Aiden Perdue could not do today. Axum and Crum. They work lap number 5. They come across and lead lap number 6 now with a run. Here comes Preston Perlmutter coming in there.
He's at high side again, but Axum manages to salvage it slightly, but he comes in way too shallow.
A good drive from the 83. Will Chance take a chance? He does not. But all this racing is letting Preston get into the mix. Here comes the number 42.
Never give up. Always keep fighting hard, and Preston knows it. Oh, but he tangles with Crumb.
They both get together, and I think that's going to open the door. Here he goes. That is Chad Wheeler back in the game.
Up to second, but he went way too hot into 3. He salvages it somehow behind them. Perlmutter and Townsend get together, costing each an opportunity with so few laps to go.
White flag for Axum. He looks safe. The battle is for second right now. Wheeler on the top side, Crum on the low side. These guys sit very close together in the points. Coming out of the final corner, Emerson Axum is going to get the win, I think. A great drive from Wheeler is going to get second. Chance Crum has more work to do.
Preston Perlmutter going to take 4th. Then you've got Hazlett in 5th. 6th going to Brandon. And the rest of the cars looks like they have wrecked out in this race, including Ransbottom.
And we get confirmation now that we are moving to a semi. Is that correct?
Yes.
We are going there. Okay, and this is going to be brought to you by Algeier Performance Parts. This is the first semi, your one-stop shop for everything high performance in the Midwest. Give them a check out there. Now, you see that it says transfer is going to be only 2. We know that that's incorrect because we have a small field. I actually don't know how many will transfer.
Well, I believe it looks like 5 will go to the feature.
Okay.
And that's a good thing for these drivers because it is a big C main here. We've got Chase Randall, who's going to be on the pole. Chance Crum, it will be outside of him with Carter Batterby starting 3rd. Dustin Davidson will be 4th and Corbin Hazlett 5th. James Andrechuk starts in the 6th position with Avery Goodman next to him in 7th. Parker Leak in 8th. And then Colin Mitchell starting 9th. Top 10 rounded out by Kobe Stidham. Roger Brandon will be 11th. And again, Hergo not here today, so he will not start the race.
The big name to watch is Kobe Stidham. He'll be looking to get in there with 5 qualifying, and he's back in 10th position. He only has to pick off a few, but there are some big names up front. Chase Randall, Chance Crum, Carter Batterby, my goodness.
I said the word at the start, and I'll say it again. It's going to be fierce up here to try and get spots. Remember, if you don't make it through on this one, you basically are sent to the showers for the day.
But with 5 going, guys up front maybe can race a little more conservatively. I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
Not if you're at the back.
Carter Batterby says a little bit of a hello to Chase Randall there. This will be good. We are going 10 laps this time. Again, there will be no cautions.
Yeah, at the back, you've essentially got nothing to lose. So, yeah, maybe conservative if you're way up on the front row, just wanting to sneak through to the end. But if you start to get caught up in the battles behind you, Bill, that's going to be bad news because you've got basically a pack of hungry wolves just overrunning you.
Driver to watch out for, car number 3, starting way in the back, Kobe Stidham. He's fast, but he has a lot of work to do. Beautiful afternoon of racing here today. So many of these are in the nighttime. It's good to be racing under this Illinois sun.
4 p.m. in the afternoon, so get a little bit closer to the evening once we get to the end.
All right, the truck has pulled in. Chase Randall really bunches him up into quarter number 4. Then he goes, gets a good jump and look at the battle for second. That's Batterby, Carter underneath. Wheeling that car. Not only does he get second, he gets a taste of the lead. Cannot hang on to it. Chance Crum down low. They battle for second. Hazlett and Davidson go 4th and 5th.
Batterby just too shallow into that first corner to really take advantage of it. Sent him far too deep. You can see what that's doing with him and Crum, because Crum wants that spots back.
Andrechuk making some moves. Andrechuk is flying. Oh, big action up front.
That was our leader, Chase Randall, who went in too deep, and Chance Crum took advantage of it. That slots our leader down to 3rd.
The number 12 of Randall just put it in the wall on the straight as well. Randall back in 4th. I told you to watch out for him. Kobe Sidham is already up into 3rd position. He started in 10th.
Parker Leak's on the bubble. He's in 5th. Car that was chasing him, James Andrewchuk, unfortunately almost spins out, so he falls back.
Oh, Sidham gets loose up in front. He falls back into 6th position as he got into it with Batterby. Kobe still has some more work to do. He slides around 2, getting loose, losing time. My goodness, this is a messy one. That was Corbin Hayslett.
The good news is the top 5 have started to break away a little bit, but more contact is going to slow them up. Stidham gets bumped by Randall, and the car in 6 is Hazlett trying to chase them. So he loves seeing this.
Hayslett has the speed. He just needs them to start to battle up front a little bit. They work lap number 5. We are halfway done.
Seen some drivers maybe try the low line a little bit, but otherwise it seems like that high line is the place to be.
Crum has driven away. He's out there cooking with hot fish grease. No need to look at him. Carter Batterby in 2nd. That white car chasing, that's Parker Leak. Nice run from him, 8th to 3rd. Sidham 10th to 4th, and now Sidham takes a peek underneath Leak.
Oh, and Randall just got run into by Hazlett.
They are in the wall, 6th. And they have to take a tow.
That bumps Dustin Davidson up 2 spots, but look at this. He's in a fierce fight with Mitchell with very few laps left.
Colin Mitchell and Dustin Davidson swapping positions for that final transfer spot. Davidson out in front right now. Mitchell is not done. He takes it in low, but he can't make it stick. Davidson will get the best of this one. Working lap number 8 as they come across the line. Your leader, Chance Crum.
Yep, better to set up a car off the corner than try to overtake them on the way in. It's just going to be so much easier trying to out-accelerate someone down the long stretch.
That's our leader, Crum. He is way out in front. He's got about 2 seconds on Batterby and about 10 seconds back to Davison and Mitchell. We look back at 5th position real quick. Mitchell has no chances. Oh, no! As I say that, did Davison just get loose?
No, he blinked out.
Okay.
And he's back, thankfully.
But here comes now, that gives an opportunity for Colin Mitchell to get there. Crum coming around out of the final corner, working lap number 10. He will advance, as will Carter Batterby, Kobe Sidham, Parker Leak. Nice run for him. The battle for 5th, though. They head down into the corner number 3. Diving it in deep, giving it all he's got is Colin Mitchell. Too little, too late. Advancing is Dustin Davison. The rest of the field, Joe?
Yeah, Mitchell not going to make it. He's done for the day. Brandon as well. Randall, Hazlett, Andrewchuk, Goodman, and Hergo is the end of the field.
One more semi for you, brought to you by Sharp Advantage, specializing in customized racing safety products of the highest quality. Check them out at sharpadvantagesafetyproducts.com. Joe, who we got?
Tyler Rust is going to be on the pole. We mentioned he needed this good start here for the B main. Aiden Perdue will be in 2nd with Preston Perlmutter starting 3rd. Reed Whitney, P5 with Colton Collins starting 5th. And Christopher Townsend in 6th. Bryce Lucy, will start in 7th position. Matt Kaiser, 8th, and Tyler Ransbottom, 9th. Local, Kenny Miller will be P10. He's got a long ways to go to get into the final show. Sam Johnson, 11th, and Grayson Springer, 12th. Both of those drivers not showing up on the grid. I think they are both not here today, so 10-car field for the B main.
Bryce Lucia sitting in 7th, maybe your best chance to work his way up into a transfer position. He's notorious for being a hard charger. Tyler Rust looks so good in his heat race, but he has a little more work to do now, but he's on the pole position. Ready to go back there is the number 25 of Reed Whitney.
This is our last semi. Next one is the big show, Bill. This is... because of the small field, the pressure is essentially on a lot quicker.
6 advance from the heat, 2 from each of the 3 heats, and then 5 and 5 from each of these semis, giving us our 16-car feature event, which will be coming up immediately after this one. Big name, Aiden Perdue, your points leader on the outside of row 1.
And what's difficult for Perdue, Bill, is that even if he gets a good finish here, that means he's not going to have the best of starting positions in the feature. He's going to have some work to do to try and get by cars that you could potentially be faster than.
We've been asked too many races together. Exactly what I was thinking. That'll be fun to watch, the number 37. If he can make it to the feature, see what he can do. Your points leader. Would not be surprised to see Aiden Perdue in the lead coming out of corner number 2 on lap number 1. Another big name down there in the 42 on the inside, and driver we've come to know, Preston Perlmutter. Townsend, Collins, Kaiser, Lucius, Miller, and Ransbottom, the back half of your field. Truck is in. 10 laps, no yellow flag. Oh my goodness, Aiden Perdue might have jumped the start a little bit. He's going to have to blow up a bit. I guess they're going to give it to him. Into the first corner, sliding up high. They make contact, and Perdue gets bumped a little bit, but he keeps it going.
This allows Perlmutter a chance. Look at him shooting to the lead, Bill.
Absolutely, coming out of 2 clean. More contact with Rust. That's going to allow Perdue to get a run on the top side. Perdue back in the second, Rust in third. Running at your transfer spots, Townsend and Lucius.
And big junk at the back. Reed Whitney, one of the victims of that. I think Matt Kaiser as well.
Lucius and Townsend continue to battle. Townsend with the best of it right now. Lucius sitting in the 5th position, the final transfer spot. Kenny Miller and Tyler Ransbottom trying to get there if they can.
He's trying to pull a slide job to get the lead. I'm not sure that it's going to work. Oh, but he finds a decent run. He's got a little bit of a nose ahead, but they're 2 wide into 3.
Look at that. The drive from the top side, though, is going to go to that dark blue car up on top. He's going to get credit with leading the lap, but look at him getting in there. That is Perlmutter. He's going to hold him off, and he has position now, and I think he'll get a good drive off here. He's got the lead, and it's his.
Aiden's got to be careful. He just wants to get to the feature here. But he is racing so hard and close.
Little contact. Preston loses momentum. Tyler Rust in third. Bryce Lucius and Kenny Miller. Putting it in the wall from 6th position. That was Christopher Townsend. He had a chance to try to get up to the guys in the transfer spot. Now it's easy sailing for Kenny Miller as the top 5 are a half a lap. I exaggerate a bit, but almost a half a lap ahead of the guys chasing.
Can Kenny count as the Pennsylvania posse, even though there's only one of them?
It's like an army of one. He's a posse of one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is great news for Kenny and anybody cheering for him from back home, because Townsend is just nowhere close. All Kenny has to do is cruise.
Kenny Miller in 5th, Bryce Lucius in 2nd. I think everybody's kind of settled into their spots right now. Your points leader, Aiden Perdue, leading this second and final semifinal. Coming across, he's working lap number 7, now working lap number 8. Remember, there's 10 laps in these semis.
That line has really worked its way up high. And what's fascinating is you can see that the slicked up portion is actually now also on the straightaway, Bill. That's just how much power these cars have accelerating away. They are tearing up the track, even in a straight line.
Yeah, let's go ahead and watch our leader for a second. We have a little battle over 5th. We can watch anybody. Looks like the racing line, Joe just talked about it. It has moved way up the track. These guys can race anywhere they want right now, and they're all choosing to race up high. Battle for 5th. Miller trying to hang on. Lucius trying to get there.
Hey, credit to Miller. He's not going to sit on his laurels in the bubble spot.
Coming out of turn number 3 now into turn number 4, it is Aiden Perdue. Little bit of a challenge down there by Preston Perlmutter, but that's nothing going on. Give Purdue the win here in the second semi. Perlmutter gets second. Collins, it's Rust in third as we have the lap car in there. Fourth and fifth will go to Kenny Miller and Bryce Lucius.
Behind them, it's going to be Townsend just trickling in home. Collins 7th, Ransbottom 8th, Kaiser 9th, and Whitney 10th. That is the last of our field trying to get into the feature.
And now it is time for the Hergot Real Estates Group, the A Main, serving the greater Indianapolis area. They specialize in helping racers find that home, or better yet, that shop of their dreams. Check them out at hergotgroup.com.
Our pole sitter is going to be Brennan Rogers with John outside of him. Row 2 has Emerson Axum starting 3rd and Matt Moore in 4th. Corey Day, P5 for him, and Chad Wheeler starting 6th. Then Chance Crum starts 7th, and the outside of row 4 will be Aiden Purdue. A lot of cars to pass. Carter Batterby 9th, and running out the top 10 bill is going to be Preston Perlmutter.
Time to go racing for this final. Back half of your field, after we do the top card, you left off with Perlmutter. Cody Sidham, watch out for him as he's in 11th. Tyler Rust, Parker Leak, Kenny Miller, 15th and 16th is going to be Dustin Davidson, and Bryce Lucius is at the back of our 16-car field.
Much longer race for this one. So a little bit of patience will be required, especially if you're at the back. The key, I think, for anybody who is from probably about 5th on back is going to be staying out of trouble, Bill. We've seen how wild it gets, especially at the starts, because drivers are just chucking it into the corner. Essentially, if I was one of them, I'd maybe back out a little bit, try to find myself a little racing space, and let things play out in front of me, because you do have cautions.
We're going 30 laps, and there are cautions. I want to take a quick minute to talk about the Pit Logic Quit Time Award for the pole sitter. Pit Logic is the most comprehensive chassis and shock setup application on the market, available on Google Play or Apple App Store. Check them out at competitionsuspension.com/CSI-logic-app. I hope you got all of that. Some good stuff there. All right, it is time for the main event, the 5th one of the season. 12 races on the schedule. This has been a great series so far, and it continues to get even more exciting. The pace car is in. Brendan Rogers has control of the field. Gather at the chicken steak, cover me on the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Brendan Rogers leads 15 other drivers down into the first corner. Jonathan Schaefer, Emerson Axum, Matt Moore. Down low, that's Corey Day.
In a clean first set of corners. Nice job by everybody. Rogers taking advantage of the clean track in front of him and started to streak away with this.
Corey Day, the only driver working the low side up in the top 6 or 7. Working hard. Action is Aiden Purdue. Corey Day in second. Single file restart. Jonathan Schaefer and Emerson Axum, 3rd and 4th.
And even though we did get a caution, this was really good racing at the start. The caution was just a weird situation and not cars tangling. Some of them were. There was contact, but everybody...
Rogers out in front. Who's our big mover so far as we're about ready to go back to racing here? Ooh, Cody Sidham started in 11th, up 5 spots. All right, here we go. Let's try this one more time.
Like Corey Day was trying that low shot off of turn 3. Oh, and he gets run into by Schaefer.
Schaefer just slammed him. Everybody else scrambling, and we get a yellow flag on this one. Great job from everybody who avoided those 2 cars.
And I think what caused the yellow was those 2 cars, just because they were pointed so far perpendicularly that iRacing decided that was a danger with the field right behind them.
Jonathan Schaefer had a great run down into the corner. Unfortunately, the line he chose was the same line that Corey Day was there, yeah.
Seats taken.
Smack.
Yeah, I agree with you that everybody was real heads up seeing that one and trying to avoid the incident. A little bit of yellow fever, but we still got a lot of racing to go, so this could settle into a rhythm.
See if anybody made more progress between the little bit of green flag racing that we have. Yeah. Maybe set them up a couple more spots now, up into 4th.
It's been a great run from 11th on the grid there, and that's a good example of what I was talking about. Is you've got these cautions, it's going to stack everybody up, so you get opportunities. You just got to make sure you make smart moves.
And if you're the points leader, Aiden Perdue, Joe, you talked about it when he was racing his semi. He's back in 9th, and with all these yellow flags, it's hard for him to pass anybody because, well, the rules are you can't pass under yellow.
It is, but I feel confident that we'll get at least one long green as Aiden gets into the back of Wheeler there for a second.
Having a little trouble under yellow? All right, race control getting him into a nice single file line. Brendan Rogers, we talked about him. He already, I believe, I don't have my stats in front of me, but if memory serves, he already has a feature win under his belt. He's missed a couple races. We don't see him in the point standings yet. Remember, there are drop races. All right, race control wants them bunched all up. There's that familiar, beautiful car. The number 9 of Matt Moore in 3rd. Time to go racing. Rogers gets the jump. Right on his tail is Emerson Axel.
Emerson going to try and take the low line on the way in, but it just doesn't look like there's enough left in that bottom line.
Everybody, fans out there, are 2 lines, a high line and a low line. Nobody racing down the middle right now.
I think Matt Moore's got the best shot of that 3 wide that you saw onto the front stretch. Down below him, that is Corey Day, still loving that low line and trying to make it work. It's not doing too bad, but we got another caution. Oh, and it's Perdue. He was a little bit of an innocent victim in this, though. Oh, well, no, maybe not. I might take that back.
I think he kind of got into Schaefer here. Again, he took it in really deep, and Schaefer didn't clear out.
Yeah, well, I thought at first that Schaefer was just a slow car that had spun, but no, that was just Schaefer taking his line. You got to be careful when you chuck it in like that on that low side. Got to make sure that nobody else is coming in the way that we saw Schaefer did.
You know, this might get me in a little bit of trouble, but this is unfamiliar country for Aiden Perdue back here, having to race with a bunch of traffic in front of him. We've seen him at the front of the pack for most of this series. I'm not saying anything about that, but this is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and some drivers do better just rifling off laps and hot lapping, doing on their own. Some are better in a pack. If you're going to run dirt, though, you're probably going to be well served to be skilled in a pack because you have to deal with it at some point. There's no way that you're just going to have every race be a case of your pace getting you up to the front. So if it is a weakness of Perdue, then he's got to work on that.
Well, personally, I'm such a fast driver that I always feel frustrated when I'm at the back of the pack and people are holding me up.
I don't believe that for a second.
If you think the viewers know the sarcasm by now, I know we're new there. Okay. My biggest problem in sim racing is the blimp distracts me. I actually crashed my car the other day looking at the blimp. All right, Brendan Rogers. What lap is he working here? Lap number 14. We're only going 30. Sometimes we go 40. Sometimes we go 30, depending on the length of the track and how thirsty the cars are. This is the halfway point. Surprisingly, there are lots of prizes in this series. There is no halfway prize winner.
I don't think they need motivation to try and get by people mid-race.
Here we go. Brendan Rogers coming across working lap number 15 right now. A battle for second. Axum and Day. Boy, Day has been working the bottom line, well, all day, and he continues to get it. Now he got the pass mate. Can he get a drive off? He does. He moves up into second. Look at the momentum from the yellow car at Matt Moore. My goodness, he was weaving that car like a drunken sailor down the back straight, but he gets it going straight now with a run on the outside. He gets one, he gets two, but he won't get Corey Day.
Yeah, he got into the back of Axum just slightly, and that is what slowed up Axum because, another caution. What is this one for? Not seeing any cars around.
Looking. Honestly, guys with both the director and
I think it was
partner.
Rust. I think Rust triggered it, maybe. Because Rust didn't wreck, but the car was very, very sideways.
He had Aiden Perdue behind him. Aiden Perdue clears him. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We don't know on that one. I've looked at it, I can't find it.
I mean, that's my best guess. It's just sometimes it's a bit of a hair trigger for the iRacing stewards.
All right, well, I guess this is good news for Brendan Rogers as he continues to lead. Day in second.
I want to see if Axum responds on that and maybe gives a little bit of nudge to Moore or Day, try and get back up there, because that's what happened to him. Remember, he got a little bit of contact, slowed him up. He lost the position because of it.
Pace car is going to take us around one more time, so this will give us an opportunity to talk to a driver here that deserves a little love. We can go ahead and put the camera on car number 32. Bryce Lucius started at the back of the pack. As well, he started in 16th, and he's knocked off half the way. He's up to 8th. Took him just over half the race to get up to halfway. He's right on schedule to win this thing.
I think that's a little easier said than done.
Going gets a little harder in the front part of the track.
That is a case of diminishing returns, for sure.
Nevertheless, a nice run from him. Again, one of the noted hard chargers. All right, here we go. The truck is in. Brendan Rogers with another nice jump. Let's see what Corey Day does. He's been working the bottom line. Let's see how it plays this time. It's going to be all his if he wants it. Boy, look at Rogers really get that top line. Boy, Day can taste the lead, but only for a second.
Yeah, that's the hard part about that low line is you can't square off the corner the way that the top side can to carry that speed. Oh, and actually Corey hit a big bump. That's going to lose him second place.
Matt Moore vultures that position. There's that blue car, Chance Crum. Now look at this. Colby Sidham, here he comes. He's made his way up into third.
Stidham now trying to work that low line. He hasn't learned the lesson that Corey Day has, but he's sticking with him.
If only the timing scoring line was halfway through corners between 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, that bottom line would be great. Gets there.
Yeah, he's just going to continue to deny him like this, and now it's really hurting him. Look at that horrible run off the corner. Crum even having a chance to try and get by, and Day moves back to the bottom again. Well, it worked for him. Color me shocked.
Now he's up top. Day working all aspects of this dirt. We got another yellow.
Is that Lucius?
Bryce Lucius. No, Bryce Lucius got into the back, I think, of Emerson Axum, if I'm looking at the right.
Yeah. Just picking a different line on the way in. You're going to see into turn 3. Not expect him to be checking up that much.
Almost looks like he changed his idea here. I'm going to go low and then I go top of it.
Incredibly, with all these yellows, we've only got 2 drivers retired, although Lucius is now coming into the pits. I hope that's not the end of his day.
Big names to keep an eye on. Carter Batterby in 8th. Aiden Perdue in 9th.
And drivers always like to use everything at their disposal. Perdue is saying that he thinks that Chad Wheeler is hanging back at the starts. Just turning the attention of the stewards over to him.
And race control, Sam Johnson coming across right now, telling everybody we don't want any of that. We want everybody nice and tight. Sometimes when you're the point leader and you make a comment like that, maybe you carry a little more weight than if I were to say it.
Honestly, Bill, I would think that the car at the very back carries more weight than the points leader, because the point leader, I know, is trying to game the system.
Okay, well, this time, Brendan Rogers does not have Corey Day right behind him like he did last time. Would not be surprised to see Day take that low side again. Matt Moore in that yellow number 9, I have not seen him down low at all. So look for him to follow Rogers into corner number 1. That would be my guess. I have no idea where Kobe Sidham will go. He'll go wherever they aren't. Right now he's getting into the back of Day. Even before they go green, Sidham with a horrible start.
And that got in the way of Chance Crum, too, who gets checked up. Axum down the inside. As you see, our 2 leaders work the very high side through 1 and 2.
Those front 2 cars are happy up top, and that's where they're going to race for a while. Corey Day's going to lose position. He's not as good up top. Kobe Sidham along low. He cannot make that pass work for 3rd.
Bill, this has flown by. We got 4 laps to go, and look at the battle for the lead. It is tight.
They work lap number 28 right now. We'll stay up on front. We've been watching the battle. Let's stay up on front. They come across. 2 to go. Watch that yellow banana-flavored car of Matt Moore. It looks darn good. The problem is he's fast, right where Brendan Rogers is fast as well.
And right now he's mimicking everything that Rogers is doing. Oh, as he gets a little too hot. And that's going to end it for Moore.
Good news for Moore is he had a giant cushion. Don't think Corey Day's going to be able to challenge him for 2nd. Meanwhile, our winner, or our leader, working out of corner number 2. Don't want to speak too soon. Brendan Rogers heading down the final 2 corners. Round number 5 of the CSI Shocks Spring Season Championship goes to Brendan Rogers. 2nd place, Matt Moore. Corey Day gets the final podium spot. Kobe Sidham and Chance Crum, 4th and 5th.
Chad Wheeler is going to take 6th position. Perdue, 7th place today. Disappointment for the 37. Emerson Axum finishes 8th. And Jonathan Schaefer, 9th. Batterby is going to round out our top 10. Bill?
In 11th position, it is going to be Kenny Miller. Then the last 4 drivers, Preston Perlmutter, Bryce Lucius, Tyler Rust, Parker Leak, and Dustin Davison. All right, the racing is over here in Pennsylvania, but you know how this works. Our broadcast is far from done. We'll take a short break. We'll come back, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. You're watching GSRC. Streaming cyberspace into your place. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the CSI Shocks Spring Season Championship, Round 5 from Williams Grove Speedway. We talked about the results before we went to the break. Quickly, I'll just talk about a few big names here that did well. Corey Day, Cody Sidham, Chance Crum, Chad Wheeler, all the names that we see in the points. Aiden Perdue got that 7th position. Big surprise, Matt Moore, who finished in 2nd. But all of that happened behind our winner, and that was Brendan Rogers. Brendan, congratulations. I don't have my records in front of me, but I think you had a win earlier this season. Am I correct?
Yeah, you guys got a.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I think I won Volusia and almost won Kokomo, all in the sprint cars. So sprint cars have gotten me had some good luck in the old sprinters. So no, I had a lot of fast guys tonight. I knew there was going to be quite a few guys on their game tonight, and I knew there was going to be quite a few that weren't. So because the track's very polarizing, as you guys could imagine, and even watching it, I'm sure you could tell you either got it or you didn't, and that track was not forgiving anybody. You know, it was slick, it was getting slick and getting worse as the night went on. And you know, I knew Aiden was going to be fast. I knew Wheeler, guys like that. Matt Moore was killing it. I saw him behind me at the end there. I thought I had one going out from under me right there. But you know, I knew there was going to be some yellows, so just try to qualify well early on and stay out front. And tough track to pass on, you know, so just try to stay out.
Yeah, just to give Moore a compliment, I think he was as fast, if not faster than you, but the problem was there was no way that the bottom line was going to work. The top line was the place to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you can be faster than anyone out there on a surface like that, and getting around someone is 3 times more difficult than even keeping up with somebody. So I was playing a little conservative at the end. I knew it was mine to lose. I knew he would have to throw a crazy slide job or do something pretty unique on me at the end there. So I just try to hold my own and you know, and I think there's a lot of real race car drivers that can attest to this as well. I used to race. Nothing gets me more nervous than a sim race. Racing in real life, you could be running some of the biggest shows out there, but you jump on a sim rig and you're just sitting in your room and you're sweating bullets. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that one had me nervous, even though it seemed like an easy run for me.
Get you out of here on this one. You're from my part of the country, Camarillo, California. That's up by Ventura, right? By Oxnard. What do you race up there? Where do you race?
Yeah, I grew up here all my life. I actually started racing kids classes out of Ventura Raceway when I was like 9 or 10. And kind of, just did that, did the Ventura Raceway stuff for quite a while. Ran Focus midgets, sprint cars, you know, all the fun dirt track stuff. And you know, I don't race too much anymore. I actually, it's an expensive and really dangerous, a little bit dangerous out there. So I'm retired at a handsome age of 22, and I'm pretty happy about that. So, and we just actually film with USAC and with a few other companies. You know, we do the production and filming and broadcasting and stuff for that. So, kind of keeps me busy. And yeah, I mean, as far as Ventura goes, there's all types of racing down south. I know a lot of people think there's not much racing in California, but it is plentiful out here.
Yep, you got it. Hey, congratulations on the win. We hope to see you again. Good luck down the road.
Yep, thank you guys for doing what you do, and I had a good.
Brendan Rogers, 22-year-old driver out of Camarillo, California, picks up the win today here in round number 5. Looking through there, do we have? I guess that's it here. As we have nobody else wants to come in. Joe, you're too scary of an interviewer, man. They don't want the hard questions. Hey, welcome. If you don't finish in the podium, we'll still be happy to talk to you if we have time. So come on in and talk to us next round. GSRC would like to thank everybody who makes this possible, especially the series sponsor, CSI Shocks, for making this broadcast a reality. On screen now are just some of the equipment and software used to stream cyberspace into your place. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our iconic music. See the screen to how to get a hold of more of her great work. CSI Shocks spring season returns in 1 week. That's going to be May 1st. That's May Day. So once you get done watching the parade in the Red Square, come on and tune in for us. It's going to be round number 6. Winged 410 sprint cars at Knoxville Raceway. GSRC will be there. We hope that you join us. Sliding across your screen right now are just some of the upcoming GSRC broadcasts. So check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about us, here's where you go. globalsimracingchannel.com. That's simple enough. Twitter, GSR Channel. Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel. We got Instagram for you. That's GSRC_Graham. Hey, and if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by hitting that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Joe, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, as indeed Brendan Rogers picks up his second win of the season here, round number 5 from Williams Grove Speedway. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.